Hello. That was a very disturbing beginning to my video. Firstly, I had a little coughing fit, so I'm hoping that's just passed, just as it was going 3, 2, 1 to go live, and then it came up with some problem with the internet. So I'm hoping I'm here and I'm all good. Anyway, I'm all here in heart. We don't know about signal or anything else. Hello, my darlings. This is your coffee break. I will just say again, I'm really sorry for those who find it jarring that I am these days, whenever I put a post or do a live or anything, I am using the @everyone tag, because Facebook, it's always been a problem, but it's gone to another level of trying to filter through anything which is non-sponsored paid advertising and get seen on Facebook these days. And frankly, I stick posts up, and if I don't tag, no one sees it. They just hide it. So I'm really sorry if that's jarring for you, if it's disruptive, if it's demand avoidant, incurring, all of this stuff. I think you can opt out of it if you don't like it, but I'm going to continue for my live videos, for my Reiki offerings, for my card readings and stuff like that, because otherwise people don't see the thread. And just to remind you that if you like joining our chats at the weekend, then you need to be a part of our Facebook Messenger community, and then you get invited to the chat. So make sure that you join those if you want to see announcements and updates and get invited to the chats at the weekends. So today I'm going to do a little chat, and then I'm going to pull you a card. I forgot to do this last week, so at the end of the video I was like, oh, I had to post it separately. I forgot to do the card. I was chatting on so much. Just got a little bit of time before we're heading out, so I better watch myself for the time. We are feeling really blessed that we are getting out this afternoon to go to Eliza's pole training class. She likes to go to pole training, which is pole dancing, but we don't call it pole dancing because that's hashtag inappropriate. So they're working out and training around a pole. She's doing that this afternoon. And last week we couldn't get to either of her classes because we've had storms and we've had terrible flooding in our village. So we are feeling extremely lucky to get over to that. She really missed it last week. Her social contact, her training, her movement, their routine, everything. It felt really disruptive to miss out on those things. So we're feeling really grateful for that. Hi, watching. Hi, I can see you watching live. That's nice when your names pop up and I can see you're there. So we're going over to that. I'm feeling really lucky that our roads are open in our village again after being flooded out. We're in a fortunate position. Our house is actually at the top of the slope in our village, so we have not got the problems that lots of our neighbours have got of actually having flooded homes. But for us, there's been access issues. We could get out some ways into some places, but it's been a bit limited and restricted, and we've not been able to get towards the sort of major towns, towards Eliza's home ed classes and usual sort of routine stuff. But things seem to be settling down this week. We managed to get out to see some of our PDA friends that live at a distance yesterday, which was lovely to get our kids together. They don't get to see each other as often as they'd like to, really, because we're a distance, but it's really special when we do. And it's lovely seeing them over the years growing up and really communicating and chatting and enjoying sharing all their interests together and things as they grow. So that was really special. So yeah, so lots of blessings, but I don't know if there's more rain coming or more flooding. We'll see what comes this week. I wanted to do a card. I feel like I wanted to tell you something else as well. I think I'm distracted because I'm feeling super aware that I think I've been wearing this purple jumper on the last couple of videos and it just got my attention. I was like, do I always wear this on a Tuesday? No, I did one of the videos on a Wednesday. I mean, it's one of my usual jumpers. It's not unusual for me to wear it. It's not like I wear it every day. And I suddenly thought I wear it in every video at the moment. It doesn't matter, but it was in my mind. So I thought I'd just share and move on. Okay, purple for spiritual enlightenment. There you go. Right, let's have a card and see what that invites us into. For those of you interested in these things, we had a big full moon in Leo at the weekend. So really illuminating something for you, probably. Leo energy invites us to really be in our strength, in our fullness, shining our light out in the world. So are you noticing anything igniting in you which might make you feel like you really want to leap forward in some kind of creative venture or passion or interest, or do something beautiful for yourself, be seen in some way or connect in some way? Or it might be doing the opposite. It might be illuminating where your resistance is and where your shadows are, and you've got to be really loving on yourself if that's happening, because it's all for your good. It's all to show you that you can have more ease than this. You can be in more lightness than this. We have to feel it first, don't we? And that can be really hard. And that can sometimes be where we get really stuck, because we feel it and then we create a story that there's something wrong with us, that we're broken, that it's our fault, and we make it worse, And actually, life is always flowing to us this beautiful awareness of where we've got some resistance, of where we've got some tension. Help us shake it off, Swifties, shake it off and live in more flow and more lightness, release our conditioning. And, it's just a continual thing. There's always going to be more. Oh my goodness, the older I get, the more I realise, I ain't ever going to get this done. So you might as well enjoy the ride, folks, and actually just love where you are. I've got something going on today that I'm like, I'm suddenly, that doesn't feel clear. That doesn't feel like it's sitting quite right. That wasn't a problem yesterday, but it was there. But today it is, because life's saying, this is your time to look at this. So just embrace what's coming up for you in life's timing, and allow yourself to stay open to it, and let yourself have that peace and well-being in your body, in your nervous system. You don't need to tense and feel frightened and feel protective. No, it's all right. It's all right. Okay, let's see what cards we got. So if you've got an intention or a question or something that came up from what I was saying there, just feel into that, and I will read you this card, which says, reflect on pride and ego. I'll try and get that out of the light. Reflect on pride and ego. And there's someone having a good look at themselves in the mirror there. I really drew on this image many years ago, before I had my PDA and I ran Peace with PDA. I ran a women's circle, and it was, it can't have been, it was not going to make sense what I was going to say. It must have been when Eliza was small, before I knew about PDA. And I ran a group called Mama in the Mirror, really about the reflections that we go through as mums, what comes up for us as we move on our mothering journey. And this was the image that really inspired me, this kind of like looking in the mirror, looking at our reflection, what we see come up in our children, what activates and triggers us, and what that inner work that brings up for us. Nevermore was that going to be true in my life as raising my gorgeous PDA. In both ways that shine light and shadow for me. Sometimes it really activates me in a way that I would call triggered. It hits my sore spots, it hits my wounds, it hits my sense of lack of other and resources and other people, and lack of myself. And sometimes she shines this bright light that makes me want to grow and expand and think, yeah, I can hold some of that. She's showing me what's possible in life, this powerful presence. So in both ways, the card says, today's lesson, acknowledge that negative pride causes more harm and suffering to relationships and your overall life than can be measured. Notice where you're losing power because of the false pride, and recognize that it's poison to your spirit and thus to your healing. Your goal is to reflect on matters of pride and ego. When I think of pride and ego, I always think of, it sounds like this big grandiose thing, doesn't it? But actually, for me, it's like the little inner protector inside us. I think of it more like a small child, who's like got themselves behind a fort, and they're there kind of waving this flag, and they're trying to keep things out. And they're really doing their best with the skills and the resources and the knowledge and the information that they've got to like keep us safe and keep our nervous system safe, because we have this sort of a biological drive to want to feel safe, don't we? And our inner protector is really doing its best job, but it's got this immaturity on a vaster spiritual level. It's got this immaturity of this little small child that's really quite limited in its life experience and its understanding, and it's trying to keep us safe, but really what it's doing is keeping so much out, that could support us, without meaning to, doing its real best. And that's what comes up for me, this kind of inner protector image of this little kid protecting its thoughts. So when I find myself, which I do often, getting in that groove, either with my mum hat on or my other relative hat on, let's not name them all, I'll give myself away, but thinking about people in my life where I can get stuck in that defensive mode, or with professionals, or but even with my own story, but get myself caught in that rut of feeling like I've got something to defend, something to protect, something I've got to fight against. And I notice there's this this part of me that's my ego, feels like it needs to be defending something. And I feel invited in this moment to notice and invite you in, if it feels good for you, to notice that perhaps you might want to breathe that through and come into a bit of space on your own, if you ever get that, if you ever do, I don't know. Just where you're in your own energy and your own space, and you can find a way of feeling safe and grounded. And just notice what is open to you that feels a bit bigger and a bit wider, and a bit of a wider vantage point of looking at this perspective. And what if there was more possibility of everybody holding a place of being right in some way? And I don't really mean right in the ways that we tell those stories, but in the sense that when you get high enough in a vibrational sense, that there's a sense of everybody wanting the best, and there's a vibration of sort of harmony that maybe is available for us to tune into when we're not in that defensiveness, where there's more flow into resolution than we're finding in that place of that inner protector. So I just wanted to feel into that, see how that goes for you. Let's do a little bit of tapping. And just, if you've not done tapping before, it's super simple. And what we're doing is tapping on some acupoints with our fingertips. It's just a self-help technique that allows us to reduce the tension and the resistance and that feeling of push against, that stuff that's in the space between where we are and what we want. It's all resistance. It's all static in our body's energy system. Really, it's really meant to be as simple as there's something we want, life brings it to us. But when we brace, it keeps it away, So when we tap on our acupoints on our body, we are soothing and calming our beautiful nervous system, which is so always overactivated in this day and age, isn't it? Soothing and calming it while we're focused on that thing. And that's what's different to general relaxation techniques. We're really specifically tuning into that thing that we're finding difficult or finding a problem, and relaxing our nervous system and relaxing the amygdala, our good old primal part of our brain, which is activated into that fight, flight, freeze, form response. And we're allowing ourselves to come back into our openness, where we can think with our prefrontal cortex, that higher thinking brain. We can breathe, we can allow the connection of all our body consciousness and all our blood and hormones and all those things can all flow like they're supposed to, and we can just come back online again. It's like a big reboot, really. It's like Mum, my iPad's not working. Have you tried rebooting it? It's like, have you tried rebooting your whole energy system, darling? Right, we've got to have a wiggle. So just tapping on the side of your hand. Even though I feel like I need to protect against this thing, this person, this situation, because they said this, and they think this, and they do this, and it hurts me, and I'm scared. Deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I feel like I need to protect myself, and I think I do, I deeply and completely accept myself, even though I feel like I need to brace because I'm scared, and I'm right to be scared, and I've got all this evidence of why I should be scared. I deeply and completely accept myself. And then we just tap on the eyebrow and saying, even though I'm scared, And on the side of the eye, I choose to breathe and come into this moment now. Even though I'm scared and I'm bracing. Under the nose, I choose to come into this moment now. This breath, this next step. On the chin, even though I'm scared. Right over the collarbone. I completely love and accept myself exactly as I am. And I notice how much I can relax simply because I love and accept myself. There's nothing to defend, nothing to explain, nothing to justify, because I love and accept myself. Look how simple that is. Right under the arm here, even though I'm scared and I'm braced and I'm protecting, and I'm really in the habit of that, and I'm not sure that I'm ready or even willing to shift it. Just finishing on the top of the head, completely love and accept myself. And I feel that peace that my body's responding to, of knowing I can just relax and be here now. And just for this moment, allow all to be well. I can choose that in this moment and every moment after, if I want to. I just know that's available to me, and I love that for me. Right, my sweethearts, I'm going to say bye, get ourselves ready to go out. And I just want to mention that I'm being really slow in doing it, but I love and accept myself, because that's just where I'm at right now. I am trying to get my website together with the help of my husband, but you know, coordination of these things is always slow moving. I feel like I've been saying it forever, but I am always available with my offerings of parent support sessions, deschooling and deconditioning sessions, and all that stuff. And I do EFT support if that's what you're looking for. So just reach out if you're wanting to book with online one-to-one sessions with me and you want to ask anything about that. Just put me a DM or put a comment, or you know, do whatever you like. Find me where I am. Okay, lots and lots of love to you. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you soon. Bye.